Namaste and hello everyone, and welcome back to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show, the podcast where we talk about real career advice for real Indian students and young professionals. And I'm your host, Kapil Gupta. And today we are going to talk about something that can completely change your life, your career, and honestly, the lives of people around you too. And today's topic is influence. But wait, before you think this is just another podcast about becoming famous on Instagram or getting millions of followers, let me stop you right there. Real influence has nothing to do with how many likes you get or how many people know your name. Real influence is about how many lives you touch, how many people trust you, and how much respect you earn through your actions and character. And did you know that, according to a LinkedIn survey conducted in 2023, 78% of Indian professionals said they got their best career opportunities not through job portals, but through people who trusted and recommended them. And that's the power of influence. And here's another interesting fact from a study by the Indian School of Business. Students who actively helped their classmates and built strong relationships were 45% more likely to get leadership roles in their first jobs compared to those who only focused on grades. So, whether you're a college student in Delhi preparing for placements, a young professional in Bengaluru trying to grow in your career, or someone in Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, or any corner of India dreaming of making it big, this episode is for you. So, today we'll talk about 5 powerful topics that will help you become a person of influence, someone people trust, respect, and want to follow. And I promise you, everything I share today is practical, simple, and something you can start doing from tomorrow itself. So grab your chai, get comfortable, and let's dive into this conversation that might just change the way you think about success and influence forever. So, hello all. I'm Kapil Gupta, career coach, life mentor, and founder of Study Abroad Academy. I'm on a mission to help 100,000 high school students break free from confusion, fear, and self doubt and step into global classrooms, powerful careers, and a life they love. Now, this isn't just about studying abroad, it's about building clarity, confidence, and character. And I do it with coaching, mindset work, and the game changing power of graphotherapy because students deserve more than just guidance, they deserve transformation. So let's start with the most important thing first: trust. You know, in India, we have this beautiful saying that our grandparents always told us: विश्वास तोड़ना बहुत आसान है, बनाना बहुत मुश्किल. And breaking trust is very easy, building it is very difficult. And that's absolutely true when it comes to becoming a person of influence. Think about it. Who are the people you listen to? Who are the people whose advice you actually follow? It's not the loudest person in the room or the person with the fanciest degree, right? It's the person you trust. It's that senior in college who always gave you honest advice about which professor to choose. It's that colleague at work who never took credit for your ideas. It's that friend who kept your secret even when sharing it would have made them look cool. Trust is the real currency of influence. According to Edelman Trust Barometer report for India in 2024, only 52% of young Indians said they trust traditional authority figures like bosses or teachers just because of their position. But 87% said they trust people who show consistency, honesty, and genuine care. And that's a huge difference. This means Today's generation doesn't respect you just because you have a big title. They respect you because of who you are as a person. So, how do you build trust? It's actually simpler than you think, but it requires patience. First, be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. If you don't know something, say I don't know instead of making up an answer. If you made a mistake, own it instead of blaming others. I remember when I was in my second year of engineering, I was the coordinator for a college fest. I messed up the budget calculation and we almost ran out of money. I could have blamed the treasurer or the vendor, but I didn't. I told my team and the college administration the truth. And you know what happened? People respected me because I took responsibility. That incident taught me that honesty builds trust faster than anything else. Second, be consistent. Do what you say you'll do. If you promise to submit a project by Friday, submit it by Friday. If you tell your friend you'll help them prepare for an exam, show up and help. In Indian culture, we have this concept of vachan, keeping your word. Our epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata are full of stories about people who kept their promises no matter what. And that's because our ancestors knew that consistency builds character and character builds influence. And we all know about Bhishma Pratigya, right? Pratigya, another word for vachan. And third, be reliable. Be the person people can count on. Now, this doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. In fact, saying no when you genuinely can't do something is better than saying yes and disappointing people later. But when you commit to something, be someone people can rely on. A study by the National Institute of Industrial Engineering in Mumbai found that employees who were rated as highly reliable by their peers were three times more likely to be promoted within 3 years compared to those who were just technically skilled. So let me share a real life example from India. Think about Ratan Tata. Who doesn't know him and who doesn't respect him? Why do millions of Indians trust him? Not just because he built a business empire, but because of his character. When the Mumbai terror attacks happened in 2008, the Taj Hotel, owned by Tata Group, took care of not just their guests, but also their staff for months. They paid salaries, provided counseling, and supported families. And that's trust building in action. And that's why when Ratan Tata speaks, people listen. And that's influence. So remember, if you want to become a person of influence, start by becoming a person of trust. Be honest when everyone else is cutting corners. Be consistent when everyone else is making excuses. Be reliable when everyone else is flaky. Trust takes years to build, but only seconds to break. So guard it carefully. And now, let's talk about respect. Now, this is something we Indians sometimes get confused about. We often think respect comes from age, position, or authority. Your parents told you to respect elders, and that's good. Your teachers told you to respect them, and that's important too. But here's the thing about real influence: real respect, the kind that makes people want to follow you, listen to you, and learn from you, that kind of respect is earned, not demanded. And there's a big difference between positional authority and earned respect. Positional authority is when people follow you because they have to. Like when your boss tells you to complete a task, you do it because that's your job. But earned respect is when people follow you because they want to. That's the difference between a manager and a leader. A manager has authority, but a leader has influence. So, how do you earn respect? The first way is through humility. And let me tell you, humility is very different from being weak or shy. Humility means you don't think you're better than others. It means you're willing to learn from anyone, whether they are older or younger, more experienced or less experienced. Some of the most respected people I know are those who, despite being successful, still listen more than they speak. And there's this beautiful example from Infosys founder Narayan Murthy. Despite being one of India's most successful entrepreneurs, he is known for his simplicity and humility. He travels economy class, eats in the company cafeteria with regular employees, and always credits his team for successes. And that's why people don't just work for him, they respect him deeply. According to a survey by Great Place to Work India, companies with humble leadership have 40% higher employee satisfaction and 32% lower attrition rates. The second way to earn respect is through empathy. Empathy means understanding what others are feeling. When your friend is stressed about exams, don't just say, study harder. Ask them what's bothering them. Listen without judging. When your teammate at work is struggling, don't just point out their mistakes. Understand their challenges and offer help. A research study from Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad found that managers who showed high empathy had teams that were 55% more productive and had better collaboration. And the third way is respecting others first. You know that famous saying, respect is mutual? It's absolutely true. If you want people to respect your time, respect theirs. If you want people to value your opinions, value theirs. If you want people to speak nicely to you, speak nicely to them. And this is especially important in Indian workplaces where we are mixing different generations, languages, religions, and backgrounds. The person who shows respect to everyone, from the office peon to the CEO, is the person who earns everyone's respect. Let me share a personal story. In my first job, there was a senior manager who everyone feared, but nobody respected. He would shout at people, take credit for their work, and never said thank you. And then there was a team leader who was just 2 years senior to us, but everyone respected her deeply. Why? Because she listened. She gave credit where it was due. She helped people grow, and she treated everyone with dignity. Guess who got promoted faster and had people actually wanting to work with them? The team leader, not the manager. And here's something important for all Indian students and young professionals listening. Don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Some people think being rude or bossy makes them look powerful. It doesn't. It makes them look insecure. Real confidence is quiet, real power is gentle, and real respect is earned through how you treat people, especially those who can't do anything for you in return. All right, let's move to topic number three, communication. If trust is the foundation and respect is the building, then communication is the electricity that makes everything work. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you can't communicate your ideas clearly, nobody will know how smart you are. You can have the best intentions, but if you can't express them properly, people will misunderstand you. Communication is not just about speaking English fluently or using big words. In fact, the best communicators are those who can explain complex things in simple language. That's exactly what I'm trying to do in this podcast. I want even a grade 5 student to understand these concepts because that's what good communication is. So let me share an interesting statistic. According to National Employability Report by Aspiring Minds, 74% of Indian engineering graduates are not employable in the knowledge economy. And the biggest reason is poor communication skills, not technical knowledge. Think about that. 3 out of 4 engineering students struggle not because they can't code or solve problems, because they can't communicate effectively. So, how do you become a better communicator? First, be clear. Don't use complicated words when simple ones will do. Don't speak in long, confusing sentences. Get to the point. Whether you are presenting in class, speaking in a meeting, or just having a conversation with friends, clarity is key. Before you speak, ask yourself, what's the main point I want to make? and then say that clearly. Second, be confident but not arrogant. Confidence in communication means speaking without fear, making eye contact, and having good body language. According to communication research, 55% of communication impact comes from body language, 38% from tone of voice, and only 7% from the actual words. So stand straight, look at people when you speak, and speak with energy. But remember, confidence is very different from arrogance. Confidence says, I believe in what I am saying. Arrogance says, I am better than you. People are attracted to confidence and repelled by arrogance. And third, become a storyteller. And this is something we Indians are naturally good at. Our entire culture is built on stories, from Panchtantra to Mahabharata, from our grandparents' bedtime stories to Bollywood movies. We love stories. And guess what? Stories are the most powerful communication tool ever. When you want to explain an idea, tell a story. When you want to inspire someone, tell a story. And when you want people to remember something, tell a story. Facts tell, but stories sell. People might forget your statistics, but they'll remember your stories. Let me give you an example. If I tell you teamwork is important, you might nod and forget it in 5 minutes. But if I tell you the story of how Dhoni built the Indian cricket team that won the 2011 World Cup by valuing every player, trusting Yuvraj Singh when he was out of form, and believing in young players like Virat Kohli, you'll remember that forever. And that's the power of storytelling. And fourth, listen actively. Communication is not just about speaking, it's about listening too. In fact, the best communicators are often the best listeners. Active listening means giving full attention to the person speaking, not interrupting them, asking questions to understand better, and showing that you care about what they are saying. A Harvard Business Review study found that leaders who practice active listening are 62% more effective at problem solving and have 47% higher team morale. In Indian families and workplaces, we sometimes have this habit of interrupting people or thinking about a response while the other person is still talking. Stop doing that. Let people finish. Understand their perspective and then respond. And this one change can dramatically improve your relationship and your influence. And finally, adapt your communication style to your audience. The way you talk to your friends should be different from how you talk to a professor. The way you present in a formal meeting should be different from how you explain something to a junior. Great communicators are flexible. They read the room, understand the context, and adjust accordingly. And now, let's talk about something beautiful: creating positive impact in everyday life. When I ask young people what influence means, many think it's about becoming famous or powerful. But the real influence is about impact. It's about making people's lives better because you exist. It's about leaving every person, every place, and every situation a little better than you found it. And here's a powerful truth: you don't need to wait until you're successful to start creating impact. You don't need money, power, or a big position. You can start right now, right where you are with what you have. According to research by Center for Social Impact and Philanthropy at Ashoka University, young Indians aged 18 to 30 who regularly engaged in small acts of kindness reported 43% higher life satisfaction and were more likely to achieve their career goals. So, how do you create positive impact every day? Start with small acts of kindness. Hold the door for someone, help a classmate who's struggling with a subject you are good at, compliment someone genuinely, share useful information with your network, introduce two people who could help each other. These seem like tiny things, but they are powerful. Mother Teresa said, we cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. and that's the impact. Second, become a mentor. You might think I'm just a student. How can I mentor anyone? But you can. You can help a junior in college prepare for an exam you've already given. You can guide someone from a smaller town who's new to your city. You can share your internship experience with batchmates who are still looking. Mentoring is not about being perfect, it's about sharing what you know to help someone else grow. A study by the Indian School of Business found that students who actively mentored juniors developed leadership skills 40% faster than those who didn't. And third, be a role model. This doesn't mean being fake or pretending to be perfect. It means living your values consistently. If you believe in honesty, be honest even when it's difficult. If you believe in hard work, show it through your actions. If you believe in respect, treat everyone with respect. People, especially younger people, are always watching. Your actions speak louder than your words. I remember in my college, there was a senior named Priya who was always helping people. She organized free coaching sessions for students from economically weak backgrounds. She never asked for credit or recognition. She just did it because she believed education should be accessible to everyone. Years later, I learned that 12 students she helped went on to get great jobs, and three of them started their own initiatives to help others. And that's the ripple effect. One person's positive actions inspired many others. And fourth, contribute to your community. This could be your college community, your neighborhood, your online community, or even your workplace. Organize events, participate in social causes, volunteer for NGOs, contribute to open source projects if you are into tech, write helpful content, create study materials for others. So, when you contribute without expecting anything in return, you build goodwill and influence naturally. Let me share an inspiring example. There's this young man from Bengaluru named Karthik who started a free career counseling group on Telegram for students from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in India. He would spend 2 hours every Sunday answering questions, reviewing resumes, and giving advice. Within 2 years, his group had over 15,000 members, and hundreds of students got placed in good companies because of his guidance. Today, Karthik is a respected career coach. It all started with him wanting to create positive impact. And here's the beautiful thing about creating impact, it's not a sacrifice, it's an investment. When you help others, you grow too. You develop skills, build relationships, gain experience, and most importantly, you become the kind of person others want to work with, learn from, and support. And we've reached a final topic. And this is the glue that holds everyone together: consistency, character, and contribution. The three C's. Now, these three things determine whether your influence is temporary or lasting. Anyone can be good once. Anyone can do the right thing when people are watching. But becoming a person of true influence requires being good consistently, having strong character always, and contributing regularly. Let's start with consistency. Why New Year resolution fail? Because people are excited on January 1st, but by January 15th, they've given up. Consistency is doing the right things repeatedly, even when you don't feel like it, even when nobody's watching, even when results aren't immediate. According to a study published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. And that means if you want to build trust, respect, and influence, you need to show up consistently for at least 2 to 3 months before it becomes natural. Think about the most influential people you know. What's common among them? They are consistent. The teacher who always comes prepared to class, the colleague who always delivers quality work, the friend who always shows up when you need them. Consistently builds credibility. When people know they can count on you today, tomorrow, and next month, that's when you become truly influential. And now, let's talk about character. This is who you are when nobody's watching. Character is your internal compass, your values, your integrity. In today's world, where everything is about shortcuts and quick success, character is what separates those with temporary popularity from those with lasting influence. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, once said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." And if you think about that, you'll do things differently. For Indian students and young professionals, character means making tough choices. It means not cheating in exams when everyone else is. It means not taking credit for someone else's work even when you could get away with it. It means standing up for what's right even when it's not popular. According to a survey by LinkedIn India, 84% of hiring managers said they rejected candidates with impressive resumes because of character concerns like dishonesty or lack of integrity discovered during interviews or reference checks. Now, let me share a powerful story about character. There's a young CA aspirant named Rohan from Jaipur who cleared his CA final exams. And during the verification process, he realized the examiner had made a calculation error and given him 3 extra marks. Now, those 3 marks didn't change his result because he had already passed, but Rohan reported the error anyway. His friends thought he was crazy, but you know what happened? The institute was so impressed by his honesty that they featured his story in their newsletter, and a big audit firm that read about him offered him a job even before his formal results were announced. And that's what character does. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. And finally, let's talk about contribution. Now, this is about giving back. In Indian culture, we have this beautiful concept of seva, selfless service. The most influential people are not those who take the most, but those who give the most. Contribution could be through volunteering, teaching, mentoring, sharing knowledge, helping your community, or supporting causes you believe in. A fascinating study by the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, found that students who regularly contributed to social causes or helped their communities had 58% better emotional intelligence and were more likely to become leaders in their organizations. Why? Because contribution teaches empathy, humility, and perspective. It reminds you that success is not just about what you achieve, but about how many lives you touch. Think about some of India's most respected figures, from Mahatma Gandhi to Abdul Kalam, from Sudha Murthy to Azim Premji. What makes them influential is not just their success, but their contribution to society. They gave back, they helped others rise, they made the world better. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, commit to consistency in at least one area. Maybe it's learning a new skill for 30 minutes daily, or helping one person every week, or reading for 15 minutes before bed. Commit to building your character by making ethical choices even when they are difficult. And commit to contribution by finding one way, just one way, to give back to your community, college, or society. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to be influential. You don't have to be the smartest or the richest or the most talented. You just have to be consistent in your efforts, strong in your character, and generous in your contribution. And that's the formula for lasting influence. Wow, what a conversation we have had today. Let's quickly recap what we learned about becoming a person of influence in India. We started with building trust, the foundation of all influence. We learned that honesty, consistency, and reliability makes people believe in you. Then we talked about earning respect through humility, empathy, and treating everyone with dignity. We explored the power of communication, from speaking clearly and confidently to becoming a great storyteller and active listener. We discussed creating positive impact through small acts of kindness, mentoring, being a role model, and contributing to your community. And finally, we understood why consistency, character, and contribution are the 3 pillars of lasting influence. And here's the beautiful truth about influence: it's not about manipulating people or becoming fake. Real influence is simply about becoming the best version of yourself and inspiring others to do the same. It's about earning trust, through your actions, gaining respect through your character, and creating impact through your contribution. And the best part, anyone can do this. You don't need a special degree, a rich family background, or an extraordinary talent. You just need the willingness to grow, the courage to be authentic, and the commitment to help others. Remember that statistic I shared at the beginning? 78% of Indian professionals got their best opportunities through people who trusted and recommended them. That's not networking, that's influence. That's what happens when you become a person others believe in, respect, and want to support. So, whether you are a first year student in a small college in Indore or a young professional in the corporate world of Gurgaon, whether you are preparing for UPSC in Delhi or building a startup in Hyderabad, these principles of influence will serve you everywhere. Because at the end of the day, success is not about what you know or who you know. It's about who you are and how you make others feel. So here's my life changing call to action for you today. Are you ready? For the next 30 days, I want you to commit to the 30-day influence challenge. Here's what you're going to do. First, choose one person every week to genuinely help without expecting anything in return. It could be a classmate, a colleague, a junior, a friend, or even a stranger. Help them with their studies, their project, their job search, or even just listen to their problems. Just help. Second, practice one act of character every day. This could be keeping a promise, admitting a mistake, giving credit to someone else, or making an ethical choice when no one's watching. Write it down in a journal. At the end of 30 days, you'll have 30 moments of character, and that builds influence faster than any degree or certificate. Third, improve one communication skill. Maybe it's public speaking. So join a Toastmasters club or practice presenting in front of a mirror. Maybe it's active listening. So really focus on understanding people before responding. Maybe it's storytelling. So start sharing experiences instead of just facts. Pick one and work on it daily. And here's the most important part. Share your journey. Post about it on LinkedIn. Tell your friends. Inspire others. Not to show off, but to create a ripple effect. When you share how you're growing, you inspire others to grow too. And that's how movements start. That's how influence spreads. And I promise you, if you do this sincerely for 30 days, your life will change. People will start noticing you differently. Opportunities will start coming to you. And most importantly, you'll start seeing yourself as a person of value, someone who makes a difference. So, are you in? Will you take the 30-day influence challenge? Comment, message me, or share your commitment on social media with the hashtag Kapil Gupta Influence Challenge. I'll be watching, I'll be cheering for you, and I'll feature some of your stories in upcoming episodes. Remember, the world doesn't need more people chasing success. The world needs more people of influence who earn trust, command respect, and positively impact lives. Be that person starting today. So thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. If this episode added value to your life, please share it with at least 3 friends who need to hear this. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a rating, let me know which topic resonated with you the most. Until next time, keep growing, keep giving, and keep becoming the person you are meant to be. This is Kapil Gupta signing off. Stay influential, stay inspired.